Hello, and welcome to the webinar, What's New at Mural? This is the next edition in our monthly webinar series on new capabilities in Mural. My name is Mark Tippin, and I'm the head of content marketing with Mural. I'll be your host today. Together with me, I have Amelia Adstrom, the Design Success Manager at Mural. Hey, Amelia, how are you doing today?
Hi, Mark. Hey, I'm doing great, thanks, and happy to see everyone joining. And I just wanted to say as well that I will be chatting with you throughout the webinar in the Q&A pane, so please add your questions there, and we'll answer them live at the end as well.
Wonderful. Today we're going to demonstrate some new capabilities from Mural. We're going to be talking about new ways to invite people to your workspace using a link instead of by email. We're going to be showing you new anonymous users with permissions to view your mural. We're going to talk about new Mural member drop-down functionality, more ways to customize your navigation control within Mural. We're also going to show you 3 things about Mural you didn't know. While these things aren't necessarily new, they might have escaped your notice, and they're sure to speed up your use of Mural. In the end of the webinar, we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask your questions live, and we'll be able to demonstrate the answers in Mural. If you have any questions, again, during the webinar, please enter them in the Q&A pane of the webinar software. Before we dig into new capabilities, I just wanted to highlight a few more things. Please follow us on Twitter at @Mural and use the hashtag #RemoteDesign. And finally, this session is one of a series of webinars of new capabilities of Mural, and you can find previous webinars from this series on our YouTube channel. And now, let's get started.
Thank you, Mark. So I will get started showing you the first new capability in Mural. So you can actually share your murals with anyone and everyone using the new share link to workspaces. So before we dig into that, I just wanted to give a quick refresh on how Mural accounts are organized. So each user have their own account in Mural, and each user can belong to 1 or more workspaces. And inside each workspace, you will have different rooms. You can think about the rooms as folders that hold your murals. And all murals belong to a room, so there are no orphan murals not belonging to any room. So in the past, you've been able to invite collaborators with a share link to a room or a mural. But if you're an admin, now you can also generate a share link to invite your collaborators to your workspace directly. So if you're an admin, you can access this share link through the dashboard. So I'm going to go out quickly and show you this. So this is what we call the Mural dashboard. So here you can see a list of all your rooms in your workspace and the murals inside the rooms. So if you're an admin, you will have the option to access the workspace members management page from here. So inviting collaborators to your workspace with a link might be useful when you need to add several users at the same time, as this allows you to simply share the link via an email. So I will go here to invite people. And now we can see here that I can create a link to the workspace. So I can just copy this link and paste it in a mural and send it to my collaborators. And another great thing that makes it easier for you if you need to invite several users is that when sharing this link with your members, this will actually give them all the basic workspace permissions by default. So anyone that joins your workspace through this link will be able to create rooms, they will be able to publish templates, and they will also be able to see public workspace rooms. So I just wanted to point out that you need to be aware of this, that anyone who joins through this workspace link will be able to see the public workspace rooms. So if you would like to invite collaborators with a little bit more, with a little bit less permissions, the best way to do that could be, you can actually add their email addresses directly here as well. So I can just... So if I add people's email addresses in here instead, you can have the option to manage their permissions before inviting them. And otherwise, the old option of sharing an invitation link to a mural or a room only gives them access to that specific room or mural. So that will give you a bit more control over who has access to your murals. But you can also delete the link to the workspace at any time to revoke access to keep your murals safe. So back to the presentation again. So the next capability I would like to show you are the new anonymous users with permission to view. So you can limit the access of users with a view link. And now you can also see users who join through this view link through the new anonymous user icons that come in form of animals. So how do you invite people to a mural? Well, take a look at this big share button that you always have access to in the upper right of a mural. So if you click on this share button, you will see that you have two different options to invite people to your mural. You will be able to invite them to edit the mural, and you will also be able to invite them to view the mural. So I can just copy this link and send to my collaborators. I already sent this link to Mark before the webinar started. So we're already in this mural with our anonymous user. So if you take a look at the bottom of the screen here, you will see the animal avatars. So Mark is today the anonymous crab, and I'm the anonymous ladybug. So a user with edit permission to a mural will be able to see all menus, and they will be able to contribute during the session. So to the left here, you can see what the screen looks like for someone who's invited to edit the mural. So you can see that you have all the regular menus with the adding content and shapes and images, and you also have access to the voting feature and the chat and the activity feed. But to the left here, to the right here, sorry, you can see what the view looks like for someone who's entering with a view link. So as you can see here, they don't have any menu options to the left to add content, and they won't have access to edit to start a voting session or regret content, and they won't be able to invite people either. But you can actually interact with anonymous users now, since you can see them entering the mural through the avatar. So you can actually follow them, and they can also ask them to follow you. So now you can see here that anonymous crab is asking me to follow him, so I can just click on his avatar and then he starts following. And I can also ask any avatar to start following me as well. So now we can see that anonymous crab is following you. So anytime you use this follow feature, you will know who is following you or who you're following by looking at this frame that you get around your screen. And I also would like to take the opportunity to show here what it looks like when you're entering. As a view with a view link. So right now I'm entering the same mural with a view link. So you can see here that I no longer have access to the menus on the left side or any of the menu objects that you regularly see on the top of the screen here. So in the bottom left corner, you can also see my ladybug icon. So right now I'm in here as the ladybug. And when I enter as the ladybug, I can also see here that I can start following myself as my regular user. But I can also click on any icon here in the bottom. So I can follow both regular users like Mark or myself, but I can also start following the anonymous crab again. So anonymous users have the possibility to interact with both regular users and anonymous users. So this is actually a great capability to use, for example, if you would like to present the mural to stakeholders that doesn't necessarily need permission to edit. You can send them a view link. They won't be able to contribute to the session, but you will be able to interact with them through the follow function. Anytime you want to stop following someone, you can just click on the mural or start zooming in or out. And if you would like to learn more about permissions, how we can control permissions of other users, you could have a look at our help center where you can learn more about this. So I think Mark is going to post a link right now to the article on the help center where you can learn more about permissions. So thank you very much, Mark, for helping out with this demonstration of these new capabilities. So I guess it's time for you to take over to show us more exciting capabilities.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. The article should be in the chat window. So let me begin sharing my screen. Here we go. All right. Can you see it okay, Amelia? All right, the Mural member dropdown is located in the upper right area of the Mural interface, and it's always shown you who has access to the Mural you're viewing. Now we've made this display even more useful. Now this list shows members of this Mural in 3 groups. You have online, who is active right now in this Mural, offline, who has been in the Mural at some point but is not accessing it right now, and never accessed. These are people who have been invited to join the Mural, but they haven't joined yet. They haven't actually been in the Mural at any point yet. Let's take a look at this Mural. You notice that before I even click on the menu, I see a number, and this shows me the number of people who have actually joined to become members to the Mural. So you see the number is 6. When I show this menu, you see that currently Amelia and myself are online and interacting. There are 4 other team members we have that have been part of this Mural at one time or another, but they're not currently online. We also see that Ronald here has been invited to access, but he hasn't seen the Mural yet. So this is helpful if you're setting up or preparing a workshop. You've invited people and maybe there's some pre-work you're expecting people to do. Here you can see perhaps Ronald's having some trouble. He hasn't gotten the email, or there's some other issue, or maybe he's just lazy and you need to follow up with him. We also have quick access to manage Mural members from this link right here. So here in this list, you see you have access to the same permissions similar to what Amelia showed earlier for the workspace level, but here you're dealing with the members specifically with this Mural and who's accessing this Mural and what each person can do. Here you can restrict someone to view-only access, and selecting this box will turn off these other options. You can allow or prevent someone from exporting the Mural to a PDF or an image. You can allow or prevent someone from duplicating this Mural, making a copy, and then kind of branching the Mural and continue to work. You can allow or prevent someone from inviting additional people to this Mural. And you can remove someone altogether from the Mural. Selecting the arrow in the upper left corner will return you to the Mural where you can keep working. Next, let's take a look at the enhanced navigation controls. This is where you can set up how you interact with Mural. In Mural, there are 2 navigation methods you use all the time. Scrolling, which is sometimes referred to as panning, and zooming. Scrolling is how you move up, down, left, and right. It's how you move around the Mural. Zooming is how you move in to see more detail or out to get the big picture. Many people tell us that our interface is similar to Google Maps, and I think this is a good mental model if you're trying to explain it to a new team member or a client you invite to use a Mural with you. Because there are so many ways to navigate on modern devices, there are touchpads, touchscreens, or traditional keyboard and mouse combination, you might want to configure these settings to your personal preference. With this change, we ask new members and returning members to set up and configure these controls when they return to Mural. Some of you might have seen these screens already. First, you're asked how you'd like to scroll. Then you're asked how you would prefer to zoom. Later, if you ever want to change these settings, you can access them through the Account Settings menu in the lower corner, and then selecting Navigation. You have access to all the same settings. These settings are a matter of personal preference, so I suggest you take a few minutes and try them out on your own and see which combination works best for you. Next, I'm going to share 3 things that have been available in Mural for quite some time, but that you might have missed. These 3 tips can supercharge your use of Mural, allowing you to get more done in less time. These are especially useful for people that deal with large amounts of data and visual note takers. The first thing is cutting and pasting information from spreadsheets. I'll switch to another tab where I have a Google spreadsheet with some information. I'll select from the column B and just Control-C, copy this information. And I'll move back to my Mural tab and paste with Control-V. Mural automatically creates an area and populates it with separate notes for each data element. This can be a tremendous time saver for anyone who needs to do an affinity cluster exercise, for example, with large amounts of data. So the next thing I'll show is how to connect items with arrows quickly. Start by getting rid of the area, but leaving the notes. One of the great things you know about Mural is your ability to spatially organize information. Now, these were imported somewhat in the right order. These are the steps for making toast. A little bit of a silly example, but you get the idea. So first, we have to open a bag, remove the slices of bread, put it in the toaster. So using Shift+C, holding down Shift and the C key on my computer allows me to quickly draw arrows and connect these to each other. I can hold just the C key down and draw an arrow in any direction, or if I hold the Shift key down, you can see how it snaps and constrains the arrow. Looks like 15-degree increments. Once I've connected these objects, they stay connected with the smart connectors. This is a huge time saver for anyone that sketches flow diagrams or does visual note-taking during team meetings. The last thing I'll show you involves Mural's flexibility with hyperlinks. For this demonstration, I'm going to reference a link to my friend Tom Wujcik's website, Draw How to Make Toast. I recommend checking this out if you're interested in system thinking. It has a silly title, but there's some great insights here. He did a great TED Talk on this topic. If I copy the text that's contained in this text object, Control-C, and then paste anywhere over the mural, Mural will automatically create this rich snippet for me. It includes a thumbnail from the website, a small summary, and double-clicking on this will take me right back to the website. I can also take any image that I've imported or found. This is a toaster that I found using Mural's image search. You see when I select it, the menu that appears has this small edit link icon. I can simply paste my URL in there and hit the enter key, and now this image is also hyperlinked back to Tom Wujek's site. Mural will also automatically recognize a URL and convert it to a hyperlink in Notes. So there are 3 ways to take URLs and add them to Mural in a very useful way. And again, these objects, you can connect with arrows, show them as part of a flow diagram, very useful. So there you go, 3 things that you might not have known about Mural. I hope these tips allow you to get even more from your Mural experience. It's time to go to your questions, so allow me to remind you to use the Q&A menu item in the Zoom software to add your questions. I'll now turn things over to Amelia, who's ready with the first question from our audience. Ready, Amelia?
Hi, Mark. Yes, thank you. I'm ready. So I'm going to take over the screen again now to start demonstrating some things.
Okay.
So please remember that you can continue to add questions as well. So we'll be taking more questions while we're answering them. And I also wanted to point out here that if you would like to have more information about Mural, you can always visit our blog, mural.co, where you can find more use cases and cool tips about how to get more out of Mural. And you can also go to support.mural.ly to find more helps and more tips about how to use Mural and answer to your questions. So the first question that we would like to take today is about copying murals and put them into documents. So the question here is, can you copy a mural and insert it into a document? I was thinking, if you're working on a solution overview using Mural, can you use the picture in an executive summary or a client document? Great question. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. The first way that I'm usually using is sometimes if I just need a small image, I just take a screenshot using the screenshot tool either on my Mac or on my PC. So this is probably the quickest way to get an image of the mural out. But I can also choose to download the mural as a PDF or an image file. So if I would like to download the whole mural, I can click on this little arrow here beside the name of the mural. And then I will see here that I have the option to export Mural or download Mural files. So I'm going to choose this one in the middle here, export Mural. So then I can see that I have the option to export the mural as an image or as a PDF. This will generate a link to download the mural, and you will receive this link in your email. So depending on the size of the mural, it might take a couple of minutes, sometimes a little bit more, to receive this download link in your inbox. So please just wait a couple of seconds and you will receive it. If you just need a part of the mural to include in your presentation, there is also another way now to take screenshots of just one part of the mural. So for example, if I would like to download an image of this nice design that I did here, what I can do then is just right-click and add an area. So if I then place this area on top of the part of the mural that I want to export, and then I have to click absorb. Now, if I right-click on the area, I will see that I have the option to export the area. And this will generate the same options that if you download the whole mural. So you will be able to download it as an image or as a PDF. So these are a couple of great ways to get your mural out of the mural and use it in other documents and solutions. So do we have any other questions, Mark?
Yes, let's see. We have a question from James who wants to know, why would you let an anonymous user view your project?
I would probably use this solution mostly when I would like to invite someone who might not have a lot of experience on Mural, but I want to show them what I did in there. So someone who necessarily doesn't need to go in and edit things, but I would like to show them what I've done in there. This could also be very useful. As you know, when you buy a subscription to Mural, you have a limited amount of seats. And if you invite someone with permission to edit your mural, that means they will take up a seat as well in your Mural account. So some users that might not need permission to edit to avoid taking up more space in your Mural subscription, you could actually share the view link with them instead, to just give them access to view the mural. Another situation when you might want to use the view option as well, let's check the share button up here. So when you open up the options to share your mural, you will see that you have the view link here, but then you also have the option to embed your mural. So when you embed your mural somewhere, this will include a view of the mural as if you were embedding the view link. So sometimes you might want to share your mural in public. Maybe you created a presentation that you would like to present publicly through your website or through a blog post, or send in a newsletter to show a new cool design or activity that you did in Mural. So this is a way to allow people who are not part of your team and are not members of your workspace to see the mural, but without having to invite them. So as you know, when you get invited as a view-only user, the only things you can see here is basically the name of the mural that you're currently inside, but you won't have the possibility to edit anything. You won't be able to access any other murals or rooms in the account. So this is actually a great opportunity if you want to share your mural in public. Is there something you would like to add to that, Mark? Do you have any cases when you want to share a mural with a view link?
Yes, I used Mural quite a bit when I was at Autodesk, and frequently you have people outside the team that you want to be transparent to, but you don't want them coming in and mucking things up in the middle of your process. So this is a great way to allow people to have a view into what you're doing, but kind of prevent them from moving things or changing data inadvertently. Not that they would intentionally do something mean, but maybe they're new or they don't use Mural that often. So that's a very common use.
Cool, thank you.
You bet.
We have a question here from Mark Stevens in the chat. Maybe you could help me demonstrate that one, Mark, since you already have the spreadsheet open. Mark is wondering, if you cut and paste multiple columns and rows from a spreadsheet, does it keep any rational arrangement? It
does. So I've just kind of scooted something in there for you to take a look at. So in this case, I went and selected both the first column, which in my case, I had steps numbered. So that's column A and column B. I selected them both, copied, and when I pasted, not only did it include both of the information, but as you see, it actually pastes it in a rational logical order. So it does.
Yes. Looks really nice.
Yeah, it's a great feature for researchers, especially.
Yeah, we often get the question as well if it's possible to create tables or spreadsheets in Mural, and I would say that the best way to do this is by using the sticky notes and use the sticky notes as cells, so you can arrange them in columns and rows. So if you have a spreadsheet with multiple columns, you could actually copy and paste them into the Mural, and they will appear like in the spreadsheet as well. So that's a great usage as well.
That's right, because there are two types of areas we have. One is a free form and one is a grid. So depending on the style of the area, if you switch to a grid layout, you'll notice that these are now kind of positionally aware. So they do behave very much like a spreadsheet. And changing the dimensions will change the stacking order.
Cool, thank you. We have another question here from Loic, who's wondering if it's possible to copy and paste a PowerPoint file on a mural and see the slides, not only an icon. And when you add a PDF document, a Word document, or a PowerPoint document, this will add thumbnail of that document to the mural. So if you double click on that document, it's going to open up in a separate window. So you can't actually look at it in the mural, but most file formats will open up in a separate tab when you add them to the mural. Let's see if I think I have something here actually I can show quickly. I can upload this PDF document that I have here. Sometimes one opportunity when I find it useful to maybe upload slides from a PowerPoint in a Mural is while you're preparing the presentation, sometimes you want to present through the Mural as well. What I basically do then is exporting the different pages of that PowerPoint presentation as images and adding the images in the Mural. Then it's really useful to get feedback on the presentation, for example, because people can go in and comment on specific slides in the presentation using the comment feature. So if this would have been a slide, for example, I could right-click on it and choose add a comment, and then I could write something to Mark here, for example, using the truncate to tag him. So it's like another background color would be nice, maybe. Yeah, so I would say that this is a great way to look at PowerPoint presentations in Mural as well. But if I want to, this is a PDF document of a presentation. So if I double click on this, you will see that it opens up in a new tab. Then you will have all the pages here that you can actually scroll through and look at. So you get it pretty handy anyway by adding it through the thumbnail. But yeah, to be able to see all the slides, adding screenshots would be the best workaround. Cool. Mark, do we have any more questions in the Q&A, please?
We do. Let's see. We have a question about whether it's possible to export sticky into CSV or Excel. So maybe generalize that a bit into how to get information from inside Mural, outside Mural.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I have access to your spreadsheet here. Okay, so remember that Mark added these sticky notes from his spreadsheet in the beginning of the webinar. So if I would like to, if we imagine that these steps of making toast aren't in the spreadsheet of Mark, I would like to, maybe I brainstorm the flow of making toast in the Mural first, and now I would like to get these steps into a spreadsheet. So I can use the Shift key to mark several sticky notes at the same time. And while I have all of them marked, I can see the formatting menu, and the last option here is copy as text. So if you would like to copy the content of the sticky notes and get them out of the Mural to another place, maybe to a spreadsheet, or maybe you want to paste them in an email or a Word document, this is the way to do it. So I will copy these sticky notes as text. Then I can go into this spreadsheet that Mark prepared before, and then I can actually use Control-V and paste. I have view-only permissions, I can't do this. But if I would have pasted these sticky notes in this spreadsheet, I would have been able to see them appear just as if I had written them.
Okay, I think we have one other question that's related. Irene wants to know if you can only cut and paste from Excel and only from outside Mural, nothing else. So I'm going to interpret that question a little bit to mean, is Excel the only tool that you can cut and paste data from? And I would say, you know, we used Google Spreadsheets, Excel, but you can also cut and paste, you know, text from any document. I also frequently cut and paste an image that I'm working on with Alpha Channel out of Photoshop and paste it with transparency directly into Mural. So I'd say experiment with it, but Mural's very flexible in the types of media that it can handle and place inside the document.
Yeah, totally. I've been doing vectors from Illustrator, just copying them directly from Illustrator and adding them into the Mural to also get like icons with transparent backgrounds if I want to add my own icons or visuals. So that works great as well. But you can also copy text from an email, for example, or from a Word document. So if you have a list with bullet points, for example, each line in the list will appear as its separate sticky note. Otherwise, if you copy a document with bigger paragraphs of text, they will be added as text boxes. So if you have a document with text that is longer, that has like more paragraphs, they will probably appear as text boxes in the Mural. But it's possible to paste basically anything. So yeah, I agree with Mark. Go ahead and try and see where the limitations are.
Wonderful. Well, it looks like that's it for questions.
Okay, great. So we have been recording this webinar and we'll be posting the recording online afterwards, together with a blog post that will have a summary of these new capabilities that we've been demonstrating. And we'll also add some links to specific sections of the Help Center where you can find more information about these things that we've been showing you today.
All right. Well, thank you very much for attending, and we look forward to seeing you next month for more What's New with Mural.
Great. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining and hope to see you around the Mural again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.